Hello and welcome back. So here's something that I've been really looking forward to. So we're looking at the Moria expansion for the One Ring. So that's Moria through the Doors of Durin. And for Lord of the Rings role-playing game, Shadow of Khazad-Dum. Now, what I'm going to do is we're just going to go through one of these. We're not going to look at any individual stats or rolling tables or that kind of thing. We're just going to assess these as a kind of as source material and campaign book and that kind of thing, without getting hung up by the rules or anything like that. Because essentially, for those of you who aren't aware, they are effectively the same book. It's just that one of them fits in the rules framework for the One Ring, and one of them does for the D&D 5th edition. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at one of these, and yeah, have a look through the source material and all that kind of stuff, and just see how much we can whet our appetites for some more Tolkien goodness. Now, if someone does want any content regarding the actual stats and all that kind of thing from either of these books, let me know in the comments, and if enough of you want it, I will definitely do it. Now, this will be supported in the future with a Strider run through of the One Ring expansion book. And so basically the Strider framework is what you've effectively got for solo play for the One Ring. So there will be some of that coming up in the near future. But really, I'm going to take your lead on this, guys. Any content you want to do with these books, or indeed any of the other One Ring or Lord of the Rings role-playing game content or anything like that, just let me know in the comments, and I'm more than happy to take a good look for you. So let's crack open the One Ring book. So yeah, basically, when you open one of these books, I suppose this is kind of a reaction as well. I've not looked at the PDFs or anything like that, so you'll be discovering this at the same time as me as I go through it. I love these books. Nice, very sturdy, good quality. I love a good RPG book. But yeah, we'll be learning a lot about this together here. But like I say, very, very much looking forward to getting into the One Ring with the Strider framework for solo play. And yeah, I will be producing more content on that going forward. Right, let's get into it. Moria. Really, really cool map there for the mines of Moria. I will be poring over that. I'm actually going on holiday next week, so I'll be taking this with me and really getting to grips with it. So basically, when you look at these pages, if you were to, in fact, I'll show you exactly what I mean. So again, it's very well known that these are basically different editions of the same thing, but I will show you just because I've got both copies here. That they are effectively the same thing. So One Ring, Lord of the Rings role-playing, they go exactly the same image. When you get to the contents and that kind of thing, it's all the same stuff. So yeah, like I say, the framework of rules and core rules are different, but effectively content-wise they are the same. Right, okay, so we have introductions. Blah, 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 blah. I'll go through the main headings. So we have an introduction. At the gates, the trumpets rang. So it talks about the campaign, where it's focused and all that kind of thing. Moria and the wider world. Rumours. Running Moria. Journeys in the dark. Fell foes. So a bit of a bestiary. We'll have a good look at that, just to talk about what is there, because it's not just orcs and dwarves and the Balrog. There are more things which we'll get to. Delving of the dwarves. Old Moria. Oh, I can't wait to get stuck right into this. Okay, so I'll have a little brief read of the introduction. In days of old, men and elves and dwarves built great cities and fortresses against the shadow. Their names passed into legend. Nargothrond and Gondolin, Nogrod and Belegost, vanished Numenor, while their ruins lie drowned beneath the western sea. Of all those mighty works, only one survived to the Third Age, Khazad-Dum. Next to it, the cities of Gondor are nearly new built. Even the oldest trees in Fangorn do not recall the time when the dwarves did not toil under the mountain. Ancient are the halls of Durin. So very, very cool thematic lore running through all of this. Then, right, a tale of years of the city. So talk of Khazad-Dum for the First and Second Age. Very cool. Right, chapter 2. And at the gates, the trumpets rang. So it talks about Moria in your game. The focus of the campaign. The player heroes are unlikely to be the ones who defeat Durin's Bane, but that should not be their quest. They should enter Moria with some other purpose in mind, either of their own initiative or directed by a patron. The company's goals will no doubt evolve over time. They might be drawn into Moria by the lure of gold, get into a prolonged conflict with the orc tribes, ally with the patron for aid, then pursue the patron's goals for a while. The ruin is large enough for many sorts of adventures. So searching for treasure and that kind of thing. Searching for mithril. The perilous path and vengeance, questing for ring lore. Wow. Then it's got Moria and the wider world. Only Gimli lifted up his head, a smouldering fire was in his eyes. On all the others, a dread fell at the mention of that name. Even to the hobbits, it was a legend of vague fear. So yeah, I assume this is going through Moria and the wider world. So we've got dwarves, Durin's folk, encountering Flora letters, home to Balin. So lots and lots of really good source material here. It goes on to the elves, then middlemen and hobbits. So when it goes through the middlemen, it goes through all of the different types as well. You're likely to see the thieves of Tharabad, men of the Welderland, the woodmen, Dunladings, the riders of Rohan, the men of Gondor. Name of ill omen. 1,000 years have passed since the fall of Khazad-Dum, more than 30 generations of mortal men. Long enough for memory to pass into story and story to become legend. And legend to be forgotten entirely. Even among the dwarves, a full 10 kings of Durin's line have lived and died without setting foot in the king's hall. Of living beings, only elves remember the wonder of the northern world and all its lamplit glory. So this has got things about rumours, so false rumours, failed lore rolls, genuine rumours, famous landmarks and obscure landmarks. Then it's got the next section, which is running Moria. So things you're going to come up against. So things like toil and hunger, the triumph of the enemy. There is no safe place. Horrors beyond knowledge. This is the sort of thing that I love. Few words Tolkien wrote was as mysterious as Gandalf's description of his experiences in the underworld. We fought far under the living earth, where time is not counted. Ever he clutched me, and I ever hewed him, till at last he fled into dark tunnels. They were not made by Durin's folk, Gimli son of Gloin, for far below the deepest delvings of the dwarves, the world is gnawed by nameless things. Even Sauron knows them not. They are older than he. Wow. Nameless things. Journeys in the dark. So much interesting stuff, and barely scratched the surface. I mean, if I just look at this, it's wall-to-wall text for the majority of this book. So it is absolutely packed. I love it. So this is all as we go through, describing Moria, drums in the deep. Very, very cool stuff. Random chamber generator. Random orc band generator. So we can see on the feat die table. So we've got things for cave troll slinkers, great orc bodyguards, orc chieftains, soldiers, guards, archers. Very cool. Chapter 4, Fell Foes. There are older and fouler things than orcs in the deep places of the world. Right, okay, so clearly spoilers evident, but we have things like going through details of the orcs, specifically orcs of Moria, orcs of Udun, and how they differ. Orcs of Mordor, the dwarves, the Balrog of Moria. It's got some stats for him. Attribute level 12, endurance 150, armor 5, might 3, hate 12, no parry. Other foul things, so we have ash wraiths, cave bats, marrow eaters. Only a handful of wild tales speak of these creatures. The dwarves encountered them in the deepest portions of the mines of Moria, far beneath Carduras, and only in the last years before the catastrophic event of Durin's Bane. Perhaps the orcs have met them in the intervening centuries, but if they have, no tales have reached the surface world. Wow. Stone toads, tappers, there may be spirits or ghosts. No one's laid eyes on them. Wow. The Mansions of the Dwarves, Chapter 5. It goes on about the delving too deep, ways in and out, wind and water, light and food. The Dimril Dale, to the east of the outflung arm of the mountains, marched to a sudden end. At the far lands could be described beyond them, wide and vague. To the south, the misty mountains receded endlessly, and far as sight could reach. In places, there were ruined works of stone beside the path, and mounds of green toppled with slender birches, or fir trees sighing in the wind. Very, very cool. So yeah, there is a truly huge amount of thing. So this is describing Old Moria, the first hall, the second hall in Durin's Bridge. It's going through lots of different areas, which I won't go through now. But this is all, you know, all these individual little maps and that kind of thing. Very, very, very cool. I cannot wait to get stuck into this. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Oh, Angalath. Angalath, the monstrous centipede. Amazing. The Mountains of Moria. More brilliant looking maps. The Mountain Galleries. Tarlock's Hall. Very, very cool. The Doors of Durin. I wonder if we'll learn anything more of the Watcher on the Wall. Sorry, is the Watcher on the Wall? The Watcher. The Watcher on the Wall. Am I thinking of Game of Thrones? The Deeps. Goblin villages. Yeah, very, very cool stuff indeed. It's got an appendix as well at the end. Very, very cool stuff. We also have, so this map here, let's have a look. I'm assuming it is identical to the one at the front. Yes, it is. So it's just a re kind of showing of that. There is also a large paper copy of the same thing. Very cool. And on the other side, a further map. Oh no, this is, yeah, this is more like a sort of GM thing. Opening volleys, choosing stances, engagements, player hero actions, adversary actions, start a new round, fly you fools. So this is kind of a kind of the back of that acts as a kind of the sequences that go on in the game. So yeah, so that is that. The One Ring and the Lord of the Rings role-playing Moria expansions. Very, very, very amazing. I love that they reproduce both of these. So yeah, so the Lord of the Rings 5th edition or D&D 5th edition books basically sit in the framework of how D&D works, the traditional role-playing mechanics, and then the One Ring has its own role-playing mechanic, which is different, but it basically provides exactly the same thing with the two different frameworks for playing the game. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm massively impressed by these books. Very, very cool indeed. So just to reiterate, if anything you want to see done with these books in terms of gameplay or things you want a closer look at and that kind of thing, please, please, please let me know in the description. I intend to be producing a lot more content, specifically more likely for the One Ring. But if basically with the content I'm going to be producing, I'll have hands in both camps. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing any of that at all, please let me know, and certainly drop a subscribe and a like for this video, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you soon.